if somebody ain't chasing you. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's easier for a fast girl to catch a fast boy, you know what I'm saying? A man pretending to be a hurt gazelle could catch a little baby lioness.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it
and
right.
again, I ain't saying it's not. I'm not saying like he should. At the end of the day, if he did what he did, he raped him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because you ain't old enough and cognizant enough to make those types of decisions.
Period.
So I get that.
That's all I'm saying.
And it's like, I don't think, and again, because apparently he trying to sue everybody who made the movie and interviewed them. I ain't trying to get sued. So I ain't saying the man did it.
Okay.
I'm just saying the entire city of Chicago knew this rumor and was accepting of this rumor.
And that's all I'm saying as well.
Even the news, though, like, I always tell people, you've heard me say this before, like, when they did
that interview.
No, when he was selling his house.
Oh, okay.
And he was selling the house, and for anybody who has seen the tape, there was this infamous room in the tape, you know, and
some of us I ain't seen.
Yeah. And the news... Now, if you selling a house, they report you like, let's say Schwarzenegger sold his house. Mm-hmm. They'd show you like, oh, and here goes his pool, and here goes his living room, and stuff like that. They did half of the news story with the camera set in the exact same spot, with the exact same angle as that video, just so you knew, oh yeah, this is the house. Mm-hmm. This is the house. Here's the exact angle of the same room in the same spot. And I'm like, oh, they cold for that. Like, at this point, just say it. Like, but the news didn't want to get sued. So.
You know what's crazy is because I also seen there was a video going around with Drea Kelly, the ex-wife of R. Kelly, and she was with her new man. I don't know, her boyfriend, fiance. I don't know, whoever he is.
Yeah, she went through all that on that other housewife show that it had real. So it was like Eddie Murphy's ex-wife.
But no, listen.
Obviously R. Kelly's ex-wife, Prince's ex-wife.
This was her all by herself. She was in the car.
You notice that one don't get no pub. It had real wives on it of real celebrities.
That one don't get pub.
Prince, R. Kelly, and Eddie Murphy. You can't get more celebrity than that.
You can't.
Wait, and what's crazy about that? They was lusting after each other's ex-husbands.
They was.
Like, they was selling, like, they was putting Prince's stuff, like, boxing it all up to get it. Like, you can't have his stuff all over your house if you're going to move on. You can't bring a no dude in this house. And you got the little Ankh symbols on everything. The dishes, the walls. Right. And they going through Prince's stuff, and Eddie Murphy's wife is like, oh my God, Prince's jacket. Oh my God, Prince's plates. Oh my God. And the wife is like, whatever. She like, and they did a little side interview. She's like, I ain't even gonna get mad because if we was going through Eddie Murphy's closet right now, she'd have to drag me out of there kicking and screaming. Like, you ain't getting me out of Eddie's closet.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it was her and it was Drea Kelly. I'm sorry, not her and Drea Kelly. It was Drea Kelly and some new guy, and she had that Step in the Name of Love song playing in the background, like, and she was like kind of grooving in the car. Mm-hmm. And people were getting on her bumper about that like, okay, you know, how are you playing victim? Well, not playing victim, excuse me, I so take that back. How are you the victim, but you're playing his music in the background, you know? If
it's on Spotify, she's trying to make sure he got money for child support.
That was the only thing I thought, baby. I swear, I was like, because it was like a lot of people going in on her, and my thing is this, okay, before because like I said, I haven't watched any of the I haven't watched the R. Kelly segments yet. I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna watch it. But I have watched her do her little her interviews and stuff like that, like on different shows like Full Circle and all different kind of shows on online. But one thing that she does say is I feel like that R. Kelly will play these games with paying child support, not paying child support, you know, cutting it off and so on and so forth, you know.
And they mentioned that in the thing.
And so it's like, but at the end of the day, even if he does cut it off, he got to pay all of that back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Like, if they got a child support order on you in 2000 and you decide you ain't gonna start paying until 2005. 2000 and to 2004 don't go away. You owe that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I totally, and with her, you know what I'm saying? Because we always see these celebrities. What's the first thing? What's her name? Gucci Man baby mama is doing that. The moment they see that you got more money It's on. Go back to court. Yeah. Hold up, judge. Wait a minute. Let me show you. Hold up. Wait a minute now. Here goes.
You know what's funny? Anytime like an athlete or something, like let's say like he got an injury, he got to retire, and they, especially in football where they just stop giving you money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden you ain't got no money. Mm-hmm. It'd be harder to find a woman to get her to court to reduce child support than it is to find Bin Laden. Mm-hmm. Like, because they'll send the sheriffs after a dude and drag him to court to pay his child support. I ain't gonna say he ain't gonna try to hide, because plenty of them do. Mm-hmm. But they'll send cops after you, and they're gonna get you in court, and you gonna pay your child support eventually.
Exactly.
But them women, man, it's like you need Black Twitter to find them. Yeah, like, come on.
So to me, it's just like, I mean, it sounds so wrong, but it's like when you have guys like, what's that one white guy who does the movies, who did Jeepers Creepers, the one who's a pedophile. Yes, he's a known pedophile. He keeps leaving the country.
You talking about the producer guy?
He's a director too.
Oh.
The one who did Jeepers Creepers.
No, okay, I know you talking about the one big wig that kicked off the Me Too movement.
Yes, and he keeps going, but he keeps leaving the country because of the fact that he'll think like his stuff will die down. He'll come back, and then somebody be like, "Hey, did y'all forget he raped me?" Like. And then he'll like, shit, let me get my movies, let me leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I feel like Jeepers Creepers never did hit the damn actual big screen. It went straight to Netflix because that whole Me Too movement came out. But my thing is, Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein is his name. My thing is, okay, you got guys like Harvey Weinstein who are able, like, they do what they do and they're still able to make and produce and give out the entertainment to the world, and no one says anything. And it's harder for them to actually go upon a court and all of that stuff, even when they have victims. But then we got R. Kelly coming out to light, and I'm not condoning it. And then you got Bill Cosby coming to light, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know what it is? I think that's the difference between somebody who's really like a sexual, like in that game where he runs with other people like that, versus somebody who has a problem. Like a difference between like a real predator and somebody with a problem. Like
they both need to be.
No. But here's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying they're not both equally bad.
Okay.
Like, if Bill Cosby did everything he got convicted of, then he's an awful person. Mm-hmm. Not saying that they didn't get down like that in the 70s and 80s and stuff, 'cause I know plenty of women who bragged about getting down like that in the 70s and 80s.
Exactly.
But the ones in the 2000s didn't get down like that.
Right, true.
You know, so, true. And that's what he got convicted of, was the newer ones. He didn't get convicted of the old ones.
Okay.
He got convicted of like somebody in the thousands.
Okay.
And them ladies don't get down like
Damn
that.
It, Bill.
But here's my thing, like, he's the type of dude, if he did what he got convicted of, he got a problem. Okay, someone like a Harvey Weinstein is a legit predator, and the reason I say it is because he got connections to that predator world. And that's probably where half his money comes from, is that type of world, because those people, like, they trade scenes and tapes, and
right,
they
like
trade
how you
people.
See it on SVU.
Yeah, but like I remember when I had to conduct an interview for someone who was trying to get into the behavior field, and he was a former Army vet. Well, I forgot what type of, but it was like, I want to say Army vet, but he was like a special force type of dude. Okay. And he talked about how he used to have to go like overseas and break up like child trafficking rings and stuff like that. And he had really, really, really bad PTSD. Even during the interview, he almost broke down into tears
because of
the stuff he saw.
Because with the children.
Yeah, and he would say like it's not like he would have to go like to the Philippines or to like China, and stuff like that, or Thailand, and break up these sex rings. But the customers that he was arresting weren't Asian. You know what I'm saying? Like they were American.
Got you.
He's like, and it wasn't like a deviant white person or evil black person. Right, it was the whole spectrum of colors and jobs, and like
it was no discrimination of who it was doing this attacking.
Right. So it was just you just in that predator ring. So it's like, because he said one time he bust in a door and there was a line of dudes, like 30 dudes deep, waiting in a line to get into this other room. And when they kicked in that door, it was dudes just raping like a 10-year-old boy.
Oh my God.
And that boy's life was just, he lived in that bedroom and had grown men rape him 24 hours a day, basically. And it's like, when they were arresting the guys, they were bold. Like, they're talking to feds at this point, feds and military. And he's like, I don't care. He's like, by the time we get to the States, I'm going to be free on bail. Because they have a network of connections and money to do what they want and not care. Like, they didn't even care when the door guy kicked in. They just like, okay, you're going to arrest me. We're going to get back to the States, and I'm going to do me. So it's like, that's the type of dude, like, the way they describe Harvey Weinstein. He's, like, more like that versus Bill, who's, like, he's a weirdo who just, he's the type of person you could get therapy for him.
But you need to be locking up these predators because those are the ones that have the bigger damage.
And right, and that's the reason I was making that point. You know, I get long-winded. Sorry, people, if you're listening. Hopefully, you're still listening. Those are the ones who get caught. Are the people who don't have the connections. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill got caught because he an old dude with a problem. You know what I'm saying? Aziz Ansari had a bad date and he got caught because, you know, got called out on it, however you want to word it, because
that was so.
It was a bad incident. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that type of personality to know to cover anything up. Like, when they brought that to, he's like, yeah, he apologized. He said, like, oh, I'm sorry you had a bad. He was calling to check on me the next day because he thought he had a great date. I told him I felt uncomfortable. He said, I'm sorry you feel that way. I feel horrible. Stuff like that. It's like, no, these predators, the way they describe R. Kelly, like, they're just like, what bad date? You loved it. You know what I mean? It's like, I know you loved it. Why are you acting like you didn't like it? That, you know? And he strikes you the type of person who would have a connection to that world.
You talking about R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Well, we gonna have to touch back on that one later because I ain't even seen the whatchamacallit, and that's just too much for me. Like, that it's too much. It's too much, and the more we get deeper into it, it just makes me sad.
All right.
So
let's pause for a break so that we could get our thoughts together, and then we'll be right back. All right. So back to something nicer,
lighter, maybe.
That's
I don't know because it's still full of drama.
But good drama.
I don't know, dude. So Portia, you know, from not Married to Medicine, Real Housewives,
okay,
of Atlanta. I guess there was an ordeal, and I'm mad because I need to start keeping these damn, because you know I be telling you throughout the year, like, I'll see them and I'm like, ooh, there's some drama. Hopefully it's gonna be taped. But this one wasn't taped.
Okay.
So it was just some drama.
That they referenced back on the show. With Portia. So I guess one of Dennis's, like, exes, or maybe just somebody that he used to mess with, came at Dennis kind of foul at Candy and Todd's party, which was Todd's birthday party. And Candy's crew kicked Portia out for, you know, kind of checking the girl for coming at her man, kind of, you know, messed up. Now, Candy was all up in her feelings. I'm not Candy. Well, no, I will say Candy. Candy and Portia were both in their feelings. Candy was in her feelings because she felt like it shouldn't have happened. And Portia was in her feelings because she felt like she should have reached out to her. Okay. But the way that these women on The Real Housewife, just particularly Candy and Portia, since I told you you weren't watching when they had all of that drama a couple seasons ago. Right.
But I really feel like ever since that season when Phaedra started all that crap, like, unless they get into a boxing ring and box, that's not going to resolve itself. Like, no matter what Portia does or what Candy does, they're going to find a reason to be like, she was looking at me funny. She ain't with me. You know what I'm saying?
Can women do that? Like, men, we could box and be okay? Like,
no, we can't do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, we're
so basically you saying they just need to sever ties.
Yes, they do. They need to be over it. Like, because I like both of them. And what's happening on the show is because Real Housewives, to me, was always kind of like